Hi everyone. I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe and healthy during this quarantine time. I just wanted to touch base with everyone and review where you should be at as far as your career PowerPoint presentation is going. Specifically because on Wednesday, April 1st, your discussion 3 assignment will be opening up on your discussion board, and that assignment will entail you to upload what you have worked on so far on your PowerPoint presentation and allow other students to peer review each other's work in progress so that you guys know that you're on the right path. You'll get feedback if you need to fix anything or if it looks good so far, and this way you guys can kind of help each other along as you're working on this. I want to remind you as well that this will be the final PowerPoint presentation will be due on April 19th by 11:59 p.m. I had sent out an announcement on March 27th with some resources that might help you in what you need to get your PowerPoint started. This included me telling you about the course schedule that is under the Start Here tab, which lists what topics you should be adding as every week goes on. It also showed that under the assignment tab, there was a career PowerPoint example or explanation that you could view to get an idea. There was a PowerPoint called Dr. Kovachik's Example PowerPoint, and although this PowerPoint isn't anything to do with nursing career, and it's a lot more complicated than what you need to do, it just showed you how she was able to cite her references on each slide when she used an idea or a specific quote on that slide from something that was not her own or her original, how she cited each slide, as well as how she referenced them on the reference page at the end in correct APA format. So I just wanted you to see that so you had an idea of how that would work. And then also I reminded you that on that assignment tab over here to the left is where you would go ahead and put that final PowerPoint project in by clicking on the tab in order for you to submit it. So you would actually click right here on this career portfolio PowerPoint project submission, and that's where you would actually submit the final PowerPoint. And to remind you that underneath there is the rubric, and this is a good guide so you understand how I'm grading this final PowerPoint. I'm grading again on format, knowledge of the topic, your grammar, your added personality or creativity, and this is how this will be final graded. So this will give you a good idea of what you need to include. I wanted to quickly go over the example PowerPoint that I had posted for you guys, just so you have an idea of what I'm looking for in case some of you are having trouble getting started. So this is that example career PowerPoint that I wanted to show you, and this is under that assignment tab as well. So first of all, you have a title page. So this is the title of your career portfolio, and this is basically your topic that you chose to do your career research on. So your title would be pediatric nursing, surgical nursing. It could be nursing research, nursing education, whatever you chose your topic to be, that is your title. And then of course your name would then go underneath that on your title page. Now keep in mind, these slides are going to be plain and white, but you are welcome to use any design, and the more creativity and the more pictures and things that you can include will help you in the end on your grade, because that is also what's included in the rubric. The second two slides will be your career environment. So this is the area in which you would find the opportunity for your selected career. So let's say, for example, I did that pediatric nursing. I can talk about how that environment may include the hospital, a typical pediatric unit, but it also might be a doctor's office. It might be a freestanding triage center for pediatrics. It could be in a school. You could be a pediatric nurse that specializes in a school. Or you could do research on pediatric nursing. You could be in a pediatric surgery center. You could be a nurse who does community health for pediatrics by offering vaccines. So this is where you're going to kind of list the different environments in which you may find an opportunity to practice that career. So some of the things on that career environment slides, remember there's two. So maybe the first slide could be describing the environment, and then the second slide could include some of these things. Now, you don't have to put these things, but these are just some suggestions or examples that you could include. Like, what are some components of that career environment? So tell me what it's like to practice in a hospital. What are the pros and cons to working in this environment? What's the description of what that environment and organization would look like? Are there opportunities for growth and advancement in the certain different environments? Is one environment better for it than others? Or maybe a fun fact about the environment, maybe a statistic that would be interesting for the other students to see about that specific environment. The next two slides is in regard to nursing theory. So you're going to choose a nursing theory and theorist, and that first slide you're really going to define or describe that theory. So I used an example of Catherine Kukolba, and she has a nursing theory on the comfort theory. So let's say I chose her as my theorist. This is the slide I would use to describe what the theory was, define it, and of course you're definitely going to need to cite this slide because this is a theory that you're getting from another source, so you're definitely going to have to cite the source. It could be your textbook, it could be another book, it could be a website. Just make sure that you are citing it. And then you're going to describe what that theory is. So you're going to tell me, if you chose this comfort theory, what that comfort theory states. Continuing with the nursing theory, the second slide could be, how does that theory align with the desired nursing career that you chose? So in this example, I chose, let's say my topic was hospice nursing. Well, the comfort theory is all about how nurses are there to provide comfort to their patients. So this would be a theory that would really well align with a hospice nurse, since their main job is comfort care, specifically at the end of life comfort care. So this would be a theory that I would use as a hospice nurse as my baseline of how I provide care for my patients. So that second slide could talk about how that theory works well with the topic that I'm choosing. Now we're going to move into healthcare quality. This is going to be one slide. You're going to tell me, what is healthcare quality? This is something that you're reading this week. This is what your reading assignments are for this week 3. It's what your pre-quiz is on. So you're going to describe what healthcare quality is. You're going to describe how safety and healthcare quality is evident or expected in the career topic that you chose or the environment that you're talking about practicing in. And then as a nurse, you're going to describe how you specifically would play a role in quality improvement and safety practice within that specific career or environment. The next slide would be on informatics. Again, you'll learn that in the readings this week. You're going to explain what is nursing informatics and how does it relate to your specialty. So how would you use nursing informatics within that nursing current environment? And you guys will read about how nursing informatics has to do with a lot of the technology or the way that we communicate, the way that we document, the way that we find information. So in order for you to practice in a hospital, you might talk about how nursing informatics could be the smart pumps or the electronic medical record, or how we document on a global system that all different hospitals and doctors can access. And then the last slide during that week would be nursing technology. You're going to tell me the concepts of what nursing technology is and how it relates to, again, the specialty that you chose and how it would be used in your environment. A lot of informatics and technology can overlap. So I mentioned in the last slide that you could talk about the smart pump. Well, smart pump would also fall under technology. So what types of technology could you use as a pediatric nurse, as a surgical nurse, as a nurse educator? What are the different types of technology that is specific to that career environment? This next slide is on professional identity. This is that week 4. You're going to tell me what professional identity is and how does it relate to that, again, specific nursing field that you chose to research. How do your personal values, beliefs, and attitudes affect your career path? How does one define oneself in their anticipated professional life? And how can you set your personal compass to align with the nursing specialty that you either chose to practice in or the one that you chose to present to the class? This next slide or slides would be your references. And again, you need to do that in APA format. A couple places again that you can use for resources would be on that assignment tab. I've listed resources with Purdue OWL about how to put your citations into APA format, as well as showing Dr. Kovacic's PowerPoint slide and to see how she put them in APA format. If you have any questions, there are lots of different programs out there. There's Perla and Purdue OWL, just to name a few, that will help you put everything in that proper format. And that could be 1 or 2 pages depending on how many references you have. And lastly, things to remember. Follow the rubric for grading guidelines. That's exactly what I use when I grade. So if you include everything in there that the rubric says you need to include, you should do well. Cite your references. If it is not your words, ideas, or definitions, you must cite the resource or it's considered plagiarism. Citing on the specific slide is just the author and the year. And then using the reference page in APA format is where it describes it a little further, the book or the pages you found this from. Be creative, use pictures, use different layouts, add personality to it, and then make it interesting for the class to read. So at this point, you're going to just upload what you have so far. This does not obviously have to be a finished product. You should have at least the first 2 weeks of content included, possibly that 3rd week. And then you upload it on your discussion board, and then you guys professionally and respectfully critique each other's work. And again, maybe suggest that they need to add or delete something. Maybe if a student notices a spelling error or a grammatical error or maybe a citation error, you could point that out as well. If you see something that you like, compliment the person, tell them this looks really good. I find this interesting. I think your pictures work really well. So this is not only to help you guys see what other people are seeing when they see your presentation, but for you to be the critic as well and really look for things that the other students need to include so that everyone in the end can get a good grade on this, which is the end, goal. So keep in mind that that'll be that week 3 discussion board assignment. There are questions for you to ask or to look at when you're looking at the other students' PowerPoint presentation. That'll be included in that discussion board tab. Remember, that opens up on April 1st at 7 a.m. and will close on April 5th by 11:59 p.m. Thank you, good luck, and again, if you have any questions, feel free to either email me or post them on the discussion board under those class questions. I will speak with all of you again soon. Thank you.